Didn't really have a plan for doing this one. I just figured, what the hell, I'd talk on it. A few days ago, I got a book called the Gnostic Gospels. It's a collection of, let's just say, material that's probably considered heretical about the church, or at the very least, it's not canon. So think of this as basically like think of it kind of like Disney fan fiction. Only I actually wanted to read this anyway. Um, the Gospel of Judas is basically like a version of Judas' story where you get the impression of Judas wasn't as bad of a guy as you were led to believe. Granted, this is told from the perspective of Gnosticism, which is in and of itself a weird thing that I don't think I fully comprehend. I just wanted to get my thoughts on what I read on a video just to see if this gets you interested in reading it for yourself. Good. Basically, it says that Judas was, out of all the apostles, Judas was the one that knew Jesus the best. He knew, and Jesus actually shared a secret with him. Now, my only problem with reading this was I had trouble understanding it. I have a very short attention span, so it's somewhat hard to understand. But I thought it was interesting because, well, the Bible doesn't give us much on Judas as far as I remember, or whatever it gives is kind of condemning. Very, I mean, the Gospel of Judas still ends the way Judas's life story ended in the Bible. Well, no, the Gospel of Judas ends with him being paid for Jesus and then being taken away. But but I think from what I remember of reading it, it almost sounds like Jesus orchestrated in this gospel his own death. Like and when I say Judas seemed to know Jesus better, like out of all the apostles, he was the only one who was brave enough to at least stand up and say where Jesus really comes from. Now, granted, this is Gnosticism. It's very different from Christianity. I mean, or no, not maybe not different, but it kind of it has this thing where it has certain things in common with Christianity, but it doesn't believe like the Old Testament is a thing. From what I remember, it believes it's just like either a false god or an asshole deity, not worth our time of day. And that's what I had. And that was what someone else said in a video. That I'm just going off of memory. I mainly got this because I was interested in what the Gospel of Jesus says, and I have to say I'm not disappointed that I got it. The only problem with it is the Gospel of Judas has a lot of stuff cut out, like it's missing pieces. Like, to be fair, when they found it, it was a piece of paper that had been torn up or was missing some chunks to it. Now, thankfully, we have enough to get a bare bones idea. It's kind of like the Epic of Gilgamesh. There are pieces of the Epic of Gilgamesh still missing, but we have enough to have a bare bones idea of what's being said. That's how I would describe the Gospel of Judas. If you want to check it out, go with God. I won't stop here. But it's very weird. And also in the beginning, Jesus kind of comes off as an asshole in the start of the Gospel of Judas. Not gonna lie. So I can kind of see why it was one of these things that they didn't decide to add to the Bible or the original version of the Bible people were given. That's my overall thought on the Gospel of Judas. It's still interesting to read, and I hopefully I don't go to hell for reading it. I mean, I've been told I won't, but you never know. Anyway, that's the video. Have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start.